what we're doing. This is a quiz which is about the actual rules in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Now, you might play these rules differently at home. Your dungeon master might play these rules differently at home. But for the purposes of this quiz, we're only dealing with the actual rules as they were printed in the D&D 5th edition Player's Handbook and the errata which has been released since that. So bear that in mind. It is not necessarily what you might play. So if there are any rules that you disagree with, we can talk about them as well. So let me change the title to the D&D quiz. Now, this is week 2. Keep a track of your scores, guys. If you get one right, give yourself a point. If you get one wrong, don't give yourself a point, and we'll see how many points you can get at the end of the quiz here today. So, let us begin. So, question. Would detect magic show that an item is cursed? Would detect magic show that an item is cursed? Rules equals guidelines. You way off limits or what? For the most part, I don't think any of the questions will deal with Unearthed Arcana, but if they do, then include it. So yeah, let me do the quiz. There we go. So yes, the question is, would detect magic show that an item is cursed? Now, that's an interesting one, and we'll see what you guys think. I haven't played 5th. I've played a ton of 3.5 and then done smaller indie RPGs for the past 5 or 7 years, so I'm screwed. Don't worry, just give it a shot in the dark. See, there's nothing to lose, you know? There's nothing to lose whatsoever. Patel Jack says nay, okay. Also, I'm reminding you guys at this point, if you haven't followed the stream, hit that follow button and join us. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows a week, playing Dungeons and Dragons, all other sorts of tabletop role-playing games as well. My internet should be completely fixed by tomorrow, so if there are issues throughout today's stream, I apologize. There's not much I can do about it right now. Let's see, we've got a lot of nays in. Sandy says nay, Jay says nay, Morgan says nay, Reptilian says nay, Jay Holder says the same, Sasha says yes, Ramato says yes. Draconic Leaf Talarus says yay. Xandra says vote yay. Okay, we have a bunch of yays and nays. The answer is detect magic doesn't reveal a magic item's properties or a curse. It only reveals that the item is magical. Now this answer is from Jeremy Crawford on Twitter, and in fact, if you guys have any questions for the quiz, I'd love to take them. If you guys have interesting questions for the quiz, what you can do, go onto Twitter and tweet at EncounterRP the quiz question, right? And I'll read it out and ask the chat. So, what's up, RB? How's it going, my man? Yes, we'll draw if it was show magic and school of magic but not cursed. So now the question for you guys, would you actually play this rule out yourself? Would you let them detect it was cursed at all? I personally don't let that happen in terms of if you detect magic, let it detect a curse. But I could see it possibly happening. I'll be emailing me later. Okay. So yeah, that's a question. Point. If you have any questions, tweet them into me and we'll get it done. Or you can whisper me. Will you be spokesperson for roast and beef cheddar sandwich? Of course I will. I mean, it's every day, my friend. So, let's go on to the next one. So, this is a bit of a tricky one. When you are invisible and hidden, if you cast Scorching Ray, you get advantage on attack with all 3 rays, or only the first? Or maybe a mix of them. When you are invisible and hidden, if you cast Scorching Ray, do you get advantage on attack with all 3 rays, or only the first? All 3 or first? You pull a rule out. You wouldn't pull it because of the exact reason for identify. Yeah. Are all the quizzes for 5e? Currently, because I've got not enough experience of any of the others. Thank you to Simon Kopp for following. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. Welcome, sir. If you guys haven't followed yet, hit that button for me. See if we get to 20 by the end of today's session. First, only the first, okay. Parking Steel, follow-up question, what's the name of the spell that does let you find out about the magical item is Identify. Yes, Identify would be able to let you do that. Look it up. Don't look it up, guys. If you're looking it up, you're cheating. You're cheating if you're looking it up. This is on your own knowledge. So there's nothing but your pride to have. Probably only the first. Everyone says first, Draconic says first, Reptilian God says first. Alright, that's a lot of first right there. It's a lot of first. Well, the answer for if you're invisible and you cast Scorching Ray and you're hidden, do you get advantage on the first 3 or all 3 attack rolls or only the first? The answer is you get advantage on all 3. All 3. Every last one. So, yeah, you guys, some of you guys are right, a few of you guys are wrong. Yeah, if you cast Scorching Ray and you're invisible and hidden, you get advantage on attack with all 3 rays. Not bad. Not bad. Let me go and find another one for you lovely folks here. Would you allow that rule to be played out, or would you not? It's worth thinking about these things, I think. So, can you move a Moonbeam spell as a druid if you shapeshift into something like a bear? Or if you just shapeshift, basically. Can you move a Moonbeam spell as a druid if you shapeshift? Stealth lock building coming, right? Yeah. Yikes, yeah. That is powerful. Powerful. 1 point so far from a few people. Okay, 1 point so far. Couple, maybe 2 points for a few of you guys out there. More builds viable, I'd play it, yeah. I mean, it'd be a cool build, I reckon. Could you move a Moonbeam spell as a druid if you shape shift? Let us see what you guys think here. Concentration spells can be controlled. Okay. That's good reasoning. Vote yay from Xandris. What's up, Xandris? Have we seen you here before? Have I seen you here before? Or are you new here? Parking sale probably looks punchable right now. Sasha says yes. You think yes? Okay. It's a vote yay. A vote yay for Kanye. 2020. Makes sense. A lot of nays coming in right there. Well, shapeshifted probably yes, but on the same turn I'd say no. Okay. From what it says no, 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 no. Alright, we've got a few no's in there. A few yeses. The answer from Mike Merles on Twitter is yes. Yes, you can. You can shapeshift and move your Moonbeam spell all around your place. All up in this grill. So, yeah. I probably would have said no, but, there you go. A question for this one, which follows up. First time watching Xandris. Oh, nice, dude. If you are new, consider hitting that follow button. I'd appreciate it, my man. You catch our next week's show, as well as all the shows I got throughout the week. But, another question to along with this one. Does a druid retain his Barkskin spell after he shapeshifts? So after you cast Barkskin upon your human form, and then you shapeshift, do you retain Barkskin as you shapeshift? Got some yays in. Oh, no worries, I'm failing 0. Well, you're learning. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. You're learning. What is a grill? Like a George Foreman? It's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. You heat some food on it. Get some tasty food going. Tasty food going. Would the druid retain his barkskin if he transformed? Now, the thinking behind this one is you transform and the skin comes with you, but is it that you're in a different skin and therefore the bark is no longer there? We've got some nays, yeah, from Sarkani. A Craigasm from Big Country, Comfy Couch, rather, not Crunchy one. Draconic says, yay, a few nays, and I think we're coming down on the nay side of things, but with a few. What's up, Big Comfy? Yay, because it's an effect on the person, okay. Yay from J Holder. Yinde says I'd say no. Interesting. But he pulls the timer until they shapeshift back. Interesting. Okay, well, what's up, Riven Helper? Oh, thanks for following earlier, dude. I appreciate that. So, the answer is, if you shapeshift and you have Barkskin already cast upon your bodice, or your body, the text of Barkskin doesn't say the targeted creature must be humanoid. Changing creature type doesn't end it. So, the answer is, yeah, you can retain your bark skin after you transform into a druid. So, extra points for Big Coochie Poop. So yeah, I feel like a few of us got that one right, a couple of us got that one wrong, but yeah, no, it does not end up being replaced by anything. It carries on basically. So let's move on to another question. How many points are you guys on at this point? How many points are we dealing with right now? So let us see here. That was... I don't want to do that one. Okay. So, question about Vicious Mockery, one of everyone's favorite spells out there. Should the Vicious Mockery be in the creature's language? 1 right, 3 wrong. 4 right somehow. Nice. Just pick the one I don't pick. So, should the Vicious Mockery spell be in that creature's language? So, the Vicious Mockery spell's verbal component is a string of insults. Should they be in a creature's language? Thank you to CMDR Ripped for the host as well. 50-50. Not bad. 4 out of 4. 2 points by missed questions. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll forgive you. 69, but the points are made up and have no value. What are you talking about, dude? There's rewards at the end. There's a great big pat on the back if you get loads of points. So... so anyone actually answered in chat, but the rest of them were easy. The rest of them are so easy, says Sir Kenny. Nay from Big Comfy Couch. Yay from Draconic. And I'm watching on YouTube. What are you thinking right now? I'm looking at you. I'm watching you. Don't think I'm not. I can see you there in the future. Let's see what you guys... Nay. No, the mockery only requires the enemy can hear it. Nay, 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 nays. Thanks to Zypher for the host or something, man. How you doing? How you doing, girl? Naylor spells magic words are laced carefully between the insulting words. Something like command needs to be though. Okay. So the answer is nope. Vicious Mockery does not have to be in the creature's language. So there you go. You can just scream a bunch of insults and they don't necessarily have to understand. Have to be in the exact language that they speak, so I wish you could force another creature to comprehend languages. You cast comprehend languages on them, right? Isn't that how you do that? Well, that's that's an interesting one now. So okay. So does the bonus strength from the Hammer of Thunderbolt stack with your giant strength belt? Does the bonus strength from the Hammer of Thunderbolt stack with your giant strength belt? One right, 4 wrong, 5 out of 5. Your mother was a Murloc. Let's play some Hearthstone sometime on stream. The answer to the Vicious Mockery one was no. Yeah. So let us see. I don't think we're way ahead of that. Okay. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. The answer is no. Yay from Draconis. Okay. Strength from the Hammer of Thunderbolts does stack with your giant strength belt? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Lots of yays, lots of yeses. A few yeses here. Tongues is the one that does. Oh, okay, cool. Tongues. A nay from Jen. Okay. To stack with what? Does the bonus strength from the Hammer of Thunderbolts stack with your giant's strength belt? The giant strength sets a strength, the other is an addition, it's a yay. If not, it's a vote nay. Alright. There's an if in there. So the answer from Jeremy Crawford is Hammer of Thunderbolts adds to your current strength no matter how your current strength is determined. So no matter what, it adds to it. So basically the answer is, yeah, they stack. So no matter how you've got your strength in the first place, there's always an additional to it. Alright then, so Let's go down and find another one. Okay, this isn't actually a question on the on the rules, but this is like a prediction question, and I want to know what you guys think that Wizard said in reply to this question, because it is an interesting question, and I wonder if anyone's kind of considered a question like this before, if they've been asked on Twitter before, if they've ever like officially answered one. But the answer is from Mike Merle has answered this one. So someone up in the team at WotC. So the question is there going to be a D&D 5.5 edition? Is there going to be a D&D 5.5 edition? Now, you can only really guess whether or not Wizards said yes or no. So did Wizards say that there would be? Did Wizards say that there wouldn't be? Or do you think that they might do it? Do you think that there might be a 5.5 edition to D&D? I certainly, personally, I don't think they would do it. But I if you'd have asked me this like yesterday, would there be a 5.5? I don't think so. But yeah. So the last answer, I forgot the last question was. Yes, they stack basically. Yes, they stack. So, will there be a D&D 5.5? What do you guys think? Answer was yes. Big Game Accounts, I hope so, Kappa. You want it to be a 5.5? I don't know. It's a tough one, though. A question, and a follow-up question for that one as well. Would you guys want there to be a 5.5? Would you even want there to be a 5.5? I don't know if I would. Not this early. Nay, no. Yays. They would never admit it because it would hurt sales. Don't actually know this one, but I'm being helpful, hopeful. No. Okay. I'd say no if they've already acknowledged you enough. The can't is necessary. Call me out. You don't get a patch in a 5.5, in my opinion. I don't know if that's necessary. No, I think that is actually. I don't think that is the case, Thomas Buffalo, because they said in the latest Unearthed Arcana for the Ranger that they're going to print the Ranger in a new sourcebook for players in D&D 5th edition, so the two are not mutually exclusive in the Wizard's mind. But the answer from Mike Miles is, if we do an update, in fact the question was, is there going to be a 5.5 or are all updates and revisions just going to be tracked via Unearthed Arcana? Mike Miles says, if we do an update, it would be very different approach, backward compatible. So they haven't ruled it out. They said if we do it, it would be a very different approach and backward compatible with 5th. So the answer is kind of like maybe. Would they admit to it? And not necessarily, but they haven't denied it. So kind of interesting, right? Kind of interesting that they do that. Nowhere near as rules heavy, the Pfizer for rule amendments, yeah. Definitely, but they have had a lot of rule amendments, actually. If you look through the errata, there actually has been loads. And all the Unearthed Arcana stuff has changed a bunch as well. If you think about the revised Ranger, that is all new stuff. So, kind of interesting to think about that. Why not a 6? The 6th edition isn't going to come for like another 10 years, I'd imagine, so... Go straight to 7. Just bang it all out. Just why not? Yeah, straight down to 7. All right. Let's see. Let's find another one to have a think about. I kind of like that question because it's probably unexpected, because you would have thought Wizard would straight up say, nope, there's never going to be a 5.5. But I said, if we do, maybe maybe we would. Ooh. This is a question which isn't a yes or no. It isn't a yes or no. What's up, Tall Squad? How's it going, man? So this is just an answer you can put. When a creature has resistance against non-magic weapons, what does it mean? When a creature has resistance against a non-magic weapon, what does it mean? Is any weapon that is +1 considered magic? Do it Windows style, just release 7 now, yeah. I like it. I like that. Just do what Windows did, man. Just fucking go straight to 7. The way you playing it. What's What's the fuss about, man? Yeah, that's kind of an interesting question. What does actually magic resistance mean? Because there's a rule that we have, but not necessarily everyone plays it the same way. Actually knows what that means off the top of our heads. So let's see what you guys think. Zuno says, in the meantime, so Will, last night I rolled a Tiefling Monk, haven't already started playing yet, and I can tell he's going to be badass. Well, tell me about him, dude. Tell me about this Tiefling Monk of yours. I like it. Then after that, Valve can release Half-Life 3. It takes half damage from non-magical weapons, right? Half damage to someone? Okay. So magic resistance means that you only take half damage from magical weapons. Means normal weapons of no chance have a lesser effect. It means any type of damage from a weapon that's treated magical is treated as damage to be resisted. What defines a magical weapon? That's another question that we can go on that as well. What defines a magical weapon? I think I have the answer to that one in another tab actually. It's actually pretty simple. I think it's any item with like the magical property is considered magical. Let's see. Because not all weapons are +1. Yeah, a magic item categorized as a magic weapon is one whether or not it confers a bonus to hit and damage. So that's the answer to that bit. Yeah. I guess damage from any weapon, of course, half. Isn't that how resistance works? Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Hey, thank you to Sarcastic Owl Productions, Lois. Don't you guys stream? I mean, I've never caught stream just because I'm like usually sleeping, but I think that they actually stream over at Sarcastic Owl. Let's see. Tieflings are sexy. Tieflings are always sexy. Any +1 weapons or magic weapons have a magic damage component. So, the answer. If a creature or an object has a resistance to a damage type, damage of that type is halved against it. Page 197 of the monster manual. So half damage, basically. Interesting. There's a difference between like spell resistance and spell immunity, though. So, yeah, spell immunity is a different condition. There might be a question on that in a bit, actually. Alright. How long does it take to create a healing potion? How long does it take to create a healing potion? Let's see what Jeremy Crawford answered to this one. Let's see what you guys think as well. I end up giving my free players a +5 Great Axe? Dude! Man. How long would it take? So I was right. I think you were, yeah. If you said half damage. I should have printed a sheet from Fancy Grounds, my DMS character sheets. But I remember he has the hermit background. I'm considering going away to Fist. I still need to work on Kyo's backstory. Sounds good, dude. Sounds good. Help my friend make a Tiefling Ranger for her first game. Nice. So how long would it take to create a healing potion? What do you guys think? As long as the DM needs it to take. That's not a kind of quiz we're working with here. As long as it takes the vendor to give it to you. You guys don't know? You guys don't know how long it would take to create a healing potion? I didn't either. I mean, like in the words of the rules, how long would it actually take you to do it? And not like, oh, it would take me a day, or my DM lets me do it in a day. Let me hand over Talks About Gold. There we go. There we go. Depends on how long it would take. 50 gold per piece. 5 gold per day equals 10 days. 1 hour level spell, but again, not really familiar with 5th. Man. No clue. No one knows. No one knows the exact answer, or else people think they do. So, the answer is, a common magic item takes 4 days and 100 gold pieces. DMG, page 129. So, 2 days and 50 gold to create a healing potion. 2 days is the answer. I don't think anyone got that right, actually. I don't know if anyone got that. Maybe you at home. Not in the chat you got that right. length for a long rest. So yeah, to create I'm 100 gold pieces. Well, if we have 100 gold pieces, a common magic item. 4 days for a healing potion, which is 50 gold. 2 days. So yeah, interesting. All right. All right. How much? Because this is one that everyone gets differently, or everyone does differently. How much is full damage? So, like, how do you calculate full damage? What's the typical number to use for full damage? We're talking per 10 feet. Oh, it's towards Buffalo. Oops. My bad. Oh, you guys look the same names. Never mind. There we go. You got it. Holy crap. Rip. No one makes healing potions. If you're playing like an alchemist, you might, you know? You might do. Now you can. Now you know how long it takes you. How do you calculate falling damage? How much is falling damage per 10 feet? Are we talking a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D20, or is it just 10 damage per 10 feet, 20 damage per 10 feet, 30 damage, blah, 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 blah. Let's see what you guys are saying. Just hit them as hard as you can. Yeah, that could work. 1d6 per 10 feet increment. Okay. 1d6. Gonna bring my questions over here so I can just bring them up. Maximum of 20d6. Isn't it 10d6 per 10 feet? Potions of a wounds get a healer. So I play a barb alchemist so I can make a bunch of nice. We've got 1d6 here. 1d6 is a very common answer for falling damage at the moment. Seems to be a popular answer. Full damage. No, yeah. F equals mx delta t delta v d6. Yes. Bearzypher is the only one who got it right. But yeah, the answer is 1d6 per 10 feet. If you didn't know that, then now you do. But you guys got it right. Some pretty easy points for you guys there. Good job. Good job. So, alright. Now here's a question for you guys. And this is another, like, not like real, like, it's a bit of a cheat question. But, do you think that the stats for a cow made it into Volo's Guide for Monsters? Did the stats for a cow make it into Volo's Guide for Monsters? Now, a lot of us might hope that it did. We've been praying for the cow for a while, but would it actually make it up there? Has it been confirmed? If so, what are the stats of the cow? Obviously, it's a challenge rating 5 beast. But let's be honest, guys. Would it have made it in? The conversation in my group about Warforged having a hardness and how hard they would cut the ground. We've got some shit. We've got some no's. Shit. Did the cow make it in? Shit. I have never thought of that before. We can only hope, right, guys? Have they confirmed that? Would they even confirm that before it came out? Would we ever know? Does Will have the answer? Is Will the answer? See what you guys saying. You got yays in. Got some praise in. A lot of yeses. A lot of yeses. It'd be similar to a donkey, you'd say. Vote yay. We've got a few nays in. Mr. Stanley's an unbeliever. He thinks they would never make it in. He thinks we're crazy. He thinks that a cow would never make it into a tome such as Volo's Guide for Monsters. Well, let me tell you, folks. Jeremy Crawford says the cow is in Volo's Guide for Monsters. But he's going to be the typical DM and not tell us the stats yet. So, the cow has been confirmed. The cowbell level has been raised to over 9,000. And, yeah, we're going to see a cow in Volo's Guide for Monsters. So if you guys haven't pre-ordered yet the Volo's Guide for Monsters, and I don't know what it would take to make you do that. Because, guys, I got a cow. This is a monster that we've been looking for to have in a guide for at least 25 years now. So, yeah, that's pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. Alright, let me go down. We got a lot of Ranger questions fired away. We don't really need to get into the, that's a silly question. A question of, can a barbarian hit himself to keep his rage going? Can the barbarian give himself damage to keep the rage going? Goes BAM! Boom! Cow level confirmed. I don't want to fight a cow. Why not, dude? Yeah, ERP scoop, the hot exclusive on that one. Got out a hot exclusive. You heard it here before you heard it anywhere else. The cow is in the Volo's guide. But can a barbarian take damage? Damage himself to keep this rage going? And thank you to Cow of Volo for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. What a name. What a name. Yes, says Blue Dollar. Yes, you can. Okay. Nay from Draconis. Yay from Reptilian God that you can damage yourself to keep the rage going. Yay. Nay. Can you hit yourself without doing damage? Yeah, you can hit yourself without doing damage. I mean, like, in real life you can, right? So I don't see why in D&D you couldn't. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Are dire cows a thing? They will be soon. Now that we have the cow stats, it just opens up a whole world of different cow opportunities for them. It's equal ops, you know? They're going to get cow beholders, cow illithids, cow nados, and more. A lot of no's in. Actually, in fact, more yeses than no's, I think. Yeah, a bunch of yeses and a few no's. The answer from Jeremy Crawford to can a barbarian hit himself to keep his rage going is no. And the follow-up question was, but rage continues if he takes damage? And the answer was, that is correct. Barbarians can't keep rage going by simply attacking themselves. It must be a hostile creature, but they can deal damage to themselves. So the answer is, they can deal damage to themselves, but it doesn't keep the rage going. So, there you go. That is the answer to that one. Let me... I feel like we need some more dramatic music for our quiz here, right? You know, some... There we go. Let's get that going. I look forward to the cow elemental, right? Cow badgers, dire cows. Alright. This is getting intense here in this quiz, guys. We're gonna get to some difficult questions here. Ooh. Okay, that's the obvious question. Can you cast multiple Hunter's Marks on the same monster? Cow Abomination. Can you cast multiple Hunter's Marks on the same creature? So, would each caster get a D? Would you get D6? Would they stack? What if you are your own enemy? True. And thank you to No IO for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for following, dude. There you go, buddy. It's your little alert popping up there. Get close to that 20 mark, boys. See if we can't do it today. Werecow, otherwise known as a Tauren. Nay. Yes, but I don't believe they would stack. Nay, nay, nay. I've never had multiple people dumb enough to pick a ranger. Oh, damn, Big Comfy Couch. The mad shots coming in right there from Comfy Couch. There is, whew. He is taking no prisoners today. Only one Hunter's Mark. Indeed, the answer is perhaps an easier one. Only one Hunter's Mark, and they don't stack. So, there you go. Alright, so, is readying an action to use a magic item the same as readying an action to cast a spell? Oh, in fact, I've got another one. Now, but that perhaps isn't a very good question. Maybe that isn't asked very intelligently. Is readying an action to use a magic item the same as readying an action to cast a spell? Maybe that's a difficult question. I'll let you guys get in some thoughts on that one anyway. What about Cow Tribesman? You say yes, and you're gonna have Hex and a Hunter's Mark. That's true. Yeah. In the words that it's written, apparently not. But I think I'd probably let multiple casters have multiple Hunter's Marks. Yes, and from Draconic. The answer to that one, and I don't know if a lot of questions are gonna answer gonna come in, but using a magic item with ready does not follow the spell rule in ready. That's a stupid question. It wasn't asked very well. I don't like that one. A better question, they're coming at you hot, guys. Is Wild Shaped Druid a valid target for Dominate Beast or Dominate Person? Now, you've Wild Shaped Druid. Are they for Dominate Beast or are they for Dominate Person? Which would you allow? Or which is correct, rather? So is it Dominate Beast or Dominate Person? You decide. You decide which path to take, which question to answer. It's getting pretty fucking hype in here, this fucking music. Got a tweet for you guys about the quiz, in fact, if you want to retweet. Yeah, that last question didn't seem particularly well asked, so apologies for that one. I feel like there's probably some confusion for you guys there. Which is, whoever asked the fucking question's fault. I'm not taking any responsibility. I shirk all responsibility when it comes to these things. Fuck them. Fuck them, guys. Dominate cow. Dominate beast, beast, dominate cow. Why not both? Beast, they take the creature type. Why not both, says Ivan? Why not both? Well, the answer to this one is their type becomes beast, so they can be affected by spells according to that type. So anything which targets beasts can do it. Always confused. Me too. In many ways in my life, I'm confused. But yes, the things which target beasts can target these guys because they are now beasts. So, all right. Ooh, a lot of these questions are like very specific questions, like what if this happens in this situation, which is kind of like not as good. Would cow become a viable beast? Oh my god, guys, that is that is a good point. That is a good point. All right, Alright. Thanks to Neve Games will host, what's up, my man? What happens when I bake and eat a good berry pie? Now, this is obviously out of character. What happens when Will does this? But no. What happens if you bake and eat a good berry pie? I like this question. It's simple, you know. It's a simple one. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna look for another question as well whilst we're doing this. Boom. Ooh, that's kind of an interesting one. Dum 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 doo doo. What are you guys saying? 7 out of 13 from Reptilian God? That ain't bad, dude. You're getting up there, man. You're nearly on the 50. Yeah, you're over 50-50. You're doing good. Let's see what Sometimes I've found funny about good berry. You can pick any berry of your choice, and watermelon is technically a berry. You feel berry good? That makes sense. Do you get the effects of all the good berries at the same time? Depends how many good berries on it. You lose the properties of good berries when you cook them. Unless the berry's action and duration run out. Yeah, the answer is you get all the effects of the good berries within. So, yeah, like Maryberry from the Great British Bake Off for anyone in England. Some good stuff. Some good stuff. Alright, so. Can you cast area of effect spells so they affect an area 1 or 2 squares off the ground? Can you cast an AoE spell like 1 or 2 squares off the ground? It's like 5 or 10 feet above the ground. So basically in a square, but like in a like a cloud almost, you know? Whole water fruit melon pie. Laser healing when you cook them. Apparently not. Apparently not. But yeah. Okay then. See what we think here. Can you cast the AoE spell 1 or 2 squares off the ground? Let you guys in the chat catch up with this one. And a little bit here, we're gonna have the Q&A session for the show. So yeah, I think I'll move on to doing some other bits as well. I mean, I can't get in a game with people because Zoom like killed itself on its Wi-Fi until tomorrow. So probably maybe we'll let the Q&A stuff go on a little bit longer tonight. We'll do a bit extra. Yes, 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 yes. A million yeses. A million yeses. Can you cast an area of Expel Slayer? Affect an area 1 or 2 squares off the ground. Jeremy Crawford says, an area spell tells you if it must target an area on the ground or if it has some other targeting limitations. So basically, yeah, unless it says otherwise. So good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. Okay. Can Colossus Slayer add damage on an attack of opportunity? Can Colossus Slayer add damage on an attack of opportunity? What do you guys think? What are we thinking here? We're thinking yay, we're thinking nay? I don't know how many points you guys are on. Some of you guys have got like all of these right. There may be like a couple wrong. It's impressive stuff, guys. It's impressive stuff right here. Some knowledge. If I tried Google Hangouts, no, it's just the Wi-Fi connection at the moment. The speed of it is excellent. Hence why I can, for the most part, stream. It's just like the connection of it goes in and out due to the fact it's a Wi-Fi. Once I have a hardwired Ethernet enable connection tomorrow, at very earliest, it should be fine. If not, I'll end up just like buying new internet and stuff. Upgrading our connection and stuff, hoping that works. Let's see when my adapter come tomorrow. Ah, fuck, it might actually come here on oh yeah, it does come in tomorrow. Okay, good. Nay, 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 nay. The answer is nay. Usable only if the attack takes place during your turn, so no attack of opportunities unless they happen during your turn. So if they happen during your turn, then yeah. But other than that, no. Alright, let's go on to another one here. Let's get him some pretty hype music right now. Alright. Ooh. There's some like world crossing questions here. Like, can Driz turn up? Okay, so can a player jump while holding a grappled creature? Can a creature jump while holding a grappled creature? Yay? Nay? Maybe? 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 Let us see what you guys are thinking of here. I would like one new internet, please. I would. It's from my Ethernet thing to get here. It says by Monday 8 PM, so it's in time for stream. But if not, I'll Mike from My Gaming should be able to host it for me. So we should have a stream tomorrow either way, which is good guy, Mike. Yay from Hybrid Vulture. What's up, man? Oh yeah, if you guys have any nicknames that you'd like me to have you down as, then yeah. Oh shit, yeah, the actual title worked. Paladin of the Fields, there we go. Nice, I realized I found out how to do that. Good, I fixed the bot. Fuck yeah, man. Yes, if they're strong enough. Yes. The answer is yes, it's a form of movement, so there are rules to it on PHP page 195. For jumping. You can jump. So there. There's a whole ton of questions on metagaming there. Okay. Ooh. You cut that jump height in half on one, that makes sense. What happens to superiority die if he multi-classes as a spellless ranger and fight? Oh fuck, that question is ridiculous. No, that question is not well asked, whatever. Like, at all. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, let me go on to this next page here. You actually changed mine? Yeah, I changed it to Hybrid Vulture. I spank my monkey every night. How should you get started again to playing D&D? The D&D starter set is a good place to go and have a look. It's like $20. And thank you to I Spank My Monkey Every Night for following Welcome to Avenge My Friend, You're a Gentleman and a Scholar. But yeah, the starter set is a good place to go and ask. Also, in 10 minutes time, I've got a Q&A session happening here, so stick around. If you have any questions in particular, go ahead and ask them. Good Guy Hentai. I like Good Guy Pie. That's one of the names I actually like, you know. I like reading it out. The GGP, you know. Was I looking for a question? Yeah, I think I was. When attacking with an improvised melee weapon, do you add strength modifier to the damage? When attacking with an improvised melee weapon, do you add strength modifier to the damage? Also, in fact, we're giving away a copy of the Player's Handbook, Monkey, so check that out there. Wanted to give something away because we hit like 8,000 followers on Twitter, and you guys are dealing with technical difficulties with me, so I felt give you guys something back. So you can check that out as well. Nay. I gotta count them. If you guys have any nicknames that you'd like me to change you to in the chat so I can see you guys as that, then I'd happy to do that. Rep Guy, okay. Lot of yays. Lot of yays. I'll change you to Rep Guy. Loads of yays coming in. There we go. I think it's like better Twitch TV that does this. Okay, loads of yays. Everyone says yes. What's up, Devour? How's it going, my man? Jeremy Crawford says, when you attack with a weapon, add your ability mod to the damage. Same mod, used for the attack roll. So yay, you guys are right. Congrats, guys. You guys are so clever. The Cygnus theme you're playing, yeah. It's her song, man. If it is, I should... Yeah, this is royalty free. There we go. That's good. Alright, this is an interesting question. Now, this is a question which isn't like... could you Xena? Okay, sure thing. Is there a way to revive Strahd from Undeath? I'll call you Xena. Is there a way to revive Strahd from Undeath? Sir Alone, let me take your question and let me put it in a Google document and let me answer it in 10 minutes time. We're on the Q&A bit. So, I've got a question saved, don't you worry, my man, and we'll get to it in a few moments here. A lot of friends call me Bunny. I'm all about hares and rabbits. Alright, do you want me to call you Bunny? I can switch your name to that if you want. Sure thing. We've got Bunny there now. Could you revive Strahd from Undeath? I'd brave for that question. Not a clue? Yes. Is there a way to revive Strahd from Undeath? And this is obviously the Vampire Lord that we will come to know and love from my YouTube series. Right, guys? Kidding. Kidding. The answer from Chris Perkins is no. Straight up. Straight up, he said no. However, I think I would probably let that happen. You know, like, I'd let it happen, probably. Like, I'd find some way in a story. But the official answer from Wizards is no. Alright, now this again is just an interesting one. I want to get your guys' opinions on this, really. I have a player that looks ahead in our campaign. Is that technically cheating? So, yeah, Wish Spell, that is very true. I don't know, there's some powerful magic going on there with Strahd. But, I have a player that looks ahead in our campaign. Is that technically cheating to you guys? I mean, for me, my personal answer, yes. Yes, it is cheating. 100%, but maybe we have a YouTube. Guys, we have a YouTube. The fuck, man? Yes. 11 out of 18. Not bad, I'm getting up there. That yuppie Kappa. He looks ahead, so he flicks ahead in the book and he has a look at the creatures in particular. Would you consider that cheating? A lot of yeses. As in a published game, yeah. If he applies the knowledge in character, that's metagaming. Technically implies as a question, absolutely, from you guys. Jeremy Crawford's advice on this one: tweak your monsters liberally. So, as a DM, I sometimes do it just to amuse myself or keep players on their toes. Chris Perkins says, in a word, yes, but it's not egregious. You can modify creatures slightly to throw off this player. So yeah. There you go. What's up, Arch? How's it going, dude? If you guys haven't checked out our podcast yet, go ahead and check it out. Some good shit right there on iTunes. Adventurers Anonymous. You know, Arch, you should have a new user. You should call yourself AA_Zanis. That's what you should do. I actually prefer to already know the ending story before looking into it. Wow, interesting. Okay. Let's go find another question for you guys. We'll get onto a Q&A session here in a minute, folks. We'll do some more quiz in a bit. This is a weekly show as well. A weekly part of this show is the quiz now. I always like doing it. So, all right. Is a creature always hidden against a surprised enemy? So, is a creature always the game term hidden against a surprised enemy? Can you change my current account to do so? No, unfortunately not. I think you have to make a new account. This sucks. I mean, I can change your nickname, but it only shows up to me and no one else. So, looking forward to watching the podcast. There's busy gigs and stuff this weekend. I had a bunch of lovely feedback from Adventurers Anonymous. If you guys haven't listened yet, it's a weekly D&D 5e actual play podcast. I am using some of the one-shot scenarios that keep the mats fall and do entirely different monsters. Nice, yeah. Yes, says Devour. A creature is always hidden against a surprised enemy. Nay, says the chronic Leaf Talorus. Talorus. It's a good name. I don't know what it means, but I like it. Now, the answer to this one is not always. Sudden betrayal, for instance. Surprise, but not hidden. There you go. There you go. Ooh. Can maneuvers that require a weapon attack be used with an improvised weapon attack? Can weapon attacks can maneuvers that require weapon attacks be used with improvised weapon attacks? It's really nice when going to and from college for air. Oh, nice, dude. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. The effect is the same with disadvantages, yeah. Don't know, it's a tough one. It's a tough question. These questions are like, if you don't know it, just say yes or no, and afterwards you'll have to look really clever, or you can say, well, I didn't know it anyway, so... that's my plan, at least. You'd say yes, depending. Nay, says Devour, you couldn't use maneuvers that require weapon attacks when used with improvised attacks. Nay, 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 nay. A lot of nays. Maybe a yes. A yes from Yay and Day. A nay from Blue Dalek. The answer is, from Mike Wells, yes. Maneuvers that require weapon attacks can be used with improvised weapon attacks. So yeah, there you go. Apparently, yes. Ooh. Alright, brain teaser for you guys. Are there any races in D&D 5th edition that are immune to vampirism? If so, which? Are there any races in 5th edition that are immune to vampirism? If so, which ones? I want to know. I want to hear it. You can convince your DM to go with it. That's totally different from the raw rule though. So all of these questions could be like, well, my DM would let me do it. So we're going with as they are written rules. But yeah, Tavern Brawler OP. Yeah. Yes, Revenant. Okay. Yes, Constructs. It's my WoW's main name from one of the D&D characters. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, Talara sounds like one of the places in WoW. I don't really know it very well, but playable races printed D&D. Constructs. So you're saying OBK? You're saying like Warforged, basically. You new here, OBK? I haven't seen the name. Constructs and Warforged. Which improvised weapon efficiency was a thing. Yes. Skeletons. It doesn't say playable. Doesn't say playable. So you can either go with playable or not. It's called Tavern Brawl of Feet, yeah. So something immune to disease is immune to vampirism. Good question. Good question. There we go. So the answer to this question, Hacking Wizard says nerd. That really hurt my feelings so much, dude. That's a proper ban right there. Just turn the stream off, guys. Welcome to MobiK, how's it going, dude? So, the answer, are there any races that are immune to vampirism? Chris Perkins says the Warforged of Eberron would be immune to vampirism. We have a playtest version online. So you guys are right, kind of constructs, Warforged would be immune to vampirism. So, yeah. Interesting stuff. Might need to make a change to my monk. Yeah, that was interesting, isn't it? How does the unarmed strike work in that case? There we go. Hey, Xanis. What's up, dude? Alright. Oh my god. Man, ooh. That's another DM's cool question, really. If a familiar casts a spell, is it a separate concentration? If a familiar casts a spell, is it separate concentration? Or the same? So, I would say separate or same. In fact, OBK for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. 2 away from that follower goal, guys. If you haven't followed yet, consider hitting that button, doing so. Oh, there he is. Hey, Xanas. What's up, dude? Check out that podcast, that sweet, sweet podcast. Out on iTunes, SoundCloud, coming to YouTube. Hopefully tonight I'll upload it to YouTube. Yeah? Question mark. I'll drop the podcast thing once again. Also, it'll be up on YouTube hopefully tonight, if by not tomorrow. I wonder if a unicorn would be affected by vampirism. And that's why we call you Bunny. It is separate it's separate concentration. Separate. Everyone thinks separate here. Everyone's the same, okay. So if a familiar casts a spell, the answer is, drumroll please, if you cast a concentration spell through your familiar, you must concentrate. Therefore the answer is they are not separate. If you use your familiar to cast a spell, you must concentrate. There we go. There we go. Let me find another question for you. Some of these questions are kind of funny. They're like, you know, like joke questions that I end up answering. Ooh. Can you be... Oh. Okay, so, can one of the 3 skills you pick with the skilled feat be initiative? Can one of the 3 skills you pick with the skilled feat be initiative? Also, I wanted to thank Catchralst for subscribing via Twitch Prime earlier on today. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I think it was maybe last night I saw that come up. Gentleman and a scholar. I salute you. Also, let me check Patreon, because I know some people pledged on Patreon. I did want to thank them live. Thank to Nicholas for pledging, and Waylon for the $30 from Waylon and the $1 from Nicholas. I appreciate that very much, you guys. If you ever do want to support the Patreon, it is here. It's up to you guys if you ever want to. Got a spare dollar you want to chop my way? I'm actually in the process of revamping it to get a bunch of new cool rewards out for you guys. So, yeah, that is something which is happening that we're pretty excited about. Let me... No. If the spellcasting had familiar... Oh, that's true. Okay, I guess that question might have been a little bit tricky, yeah. Maybe the wording of that question wasn't particularly well written. If the familiar had spellcasting, then it would be separate, I guess, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Apologies if that one threw you guys off. Yes, from Draconic. No's from a few. There's no skill to it. There's no skill to initiative. It's all just luck. It's all just RNG. The answer is no. It's not a skill. Alright, we're going to do one more. We're going to get to Q&A section here for you guys. Yeah, a lot of guys getting lollies, right? You guys know your game. Proud of you guys. Proud of you guys. Okay, let me see here. These questions are kind of very me. So would a simulacrum be separate? I don't even know what that is. Oh boy. If the 1,700 doesn't give me a life-size replica of your donga, I'll be angry. I should sell donga merchandise, shouldn't I? Okay. Does cover affect saving throws? Does cover affect saving throws? For instance, I might give a cover bonus if Lacaster rolled to hit. So. Only one roll. There you go. Initiative is tied to Dex, yeah. It's true. It is true. You guys are right. You guys are so good. I'm so proud of you guys. You would buy donga merchandise? Wow. That is coming from a real life female who would buy my donga. How many? Okay, next question. How many of you guys would buy my donga? For a night. Yes. Dex saves, yes. Okay, and no from Tool School, nay from Xandros. Well, I can now reveal. There's a rich. Actually, Sorolem, we had that question last week, and the answer is yes. We had a similar question to that last week. I believe the answer was yes. Check the last week's video for it. If you can't see, you can't curse you. The answer is it gives a bonus to dex saves. Yep, so yes. Good job, guys. Good job. Proud of you guys. So, final scores in from you guys, please. What do we get? How do we do? Final tally. How many points do you guys have? And